Good afternoon. Thank you for joining today. My name is Darren Finley. I appreciate your time. Today, we're going to talk about how will AI transform recruiting. And as a matter of fact, it's already transforming recruiting. But I'd like to thank the Talent Board, our Trendicators Advisory Board, our marketing team, Melissa and Mark, and our EDE research team, and all the wonderful experimentation that they do. They're always curious approach to new technologies that drive innovation kind of across the board. I'm Darren Finley. I lead the Recruitment Solutions Group at Engage to Excel, and it's my pleasure to be with you today. When reviewing what analysts are reporting that kind of assess which organizations stand to gain the most from AI technology into their daily operations, you find that recruiting often doesn't make it to the top 5, but instead you find customer service, marketing, sales, accounting and finance, research and development, really across most of the organization are benefiting from the most AI investments there are. The irony is that talent acquisition is the engine that drives innovation really across all departments. HR departments have been using machine learning, robotic process automation, intelligent algorithms for years to speed the process of screening resumes and applicants. And today, AI enables recruiters to use the power of data to make better decisions. The use of AI technology has come under much scrutiny in recent years over privacy concerns and the risk of perpetuating or amplifying biases and discrimination. But despite all of these concerns, investment in AI-enabled technologies is expected to grow nearly threefold in the next 7 years. So what we're going to look at today is I hope to really provide a brief overview of how AI-enabled tools and platforms can assist in things like writing job descriptions, candidate sourcing, recruiting chatbots, AI-assisted interviewing, and employee onboarding. Our objective is really to provide HR and recruiting leaders who have yet to deploy any of these technologies with a guide to kind of get started with their journey. And the question really isn't whether AI will transform recruiting or even when will it happen, because it's really already underway. So let's start with kind of a definition of what AI or artificial intelligence is. And artificial intelligence really refers to this simulation of human intelligence and machines that are programmed to think, learn, and problem solve like humans. It encompasses a wide range of technologies and techniques that allow machines to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. These tasks include understanding natural language, recognizing patterns, solving problems, learning from experience, and then making those decisions. AI technologies utilize various techniques, including machine learning and neural networks and natural language processing and different expert systems that are there to help those machines mimic human intelligence. These systems are trained on vast amounts of data and use algorithms to recognize patterns, make predictions or decisions, allowing them to improve their performance over time through learning. I was at HR Tech a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas, and one of the things that I kind of stood out to me is a comment that Josh Bersin made. And Josh is saying that AI companies are really big data companies. And you think about the applications we're going to talk about today, it is just applying really smart algorithms and smart learning from machines into the data that we have. So the data that's put in is very important, and the data that comes out is important. So there's still a need for that human touch across the board. The first thing I want to talk about is writing job descriptions. And you're looking for a way to improve the quality of your job descriptions while ensuring that the keywords are included to attract the most qualified responses. Generative AI is an indispensable tool that saves time by using natural language processing to create job descriptions that are more accurate, concise, inclusive, and keyword optimized. This is a huge time saver for hiring managers and recruiters. AI tools expressly designed for recruiting include templates that will also help overcome unintentional biases. Is the first AI-generated draft too formal? Then tell the tool to make it less formal and get a new draft literally in seconds. However, don't expect AI to add unique details that differentiate your company, your culture, your career opportunities from others that are out there. And in all cases, AI should be used to get the first draft and then refined by an expert writer or expert recruiter. So you see there's quite a bit of a technology landscape that's out there, and a lot of different companies, even from as simple as ChatGPT, CalVista, Haley, Jasper, and these tools all work with natural language processing algorithms and machine learning to kind of analyze the existing job postings and identify how to improve those across the board. The benefits of that, it saves a ton of time and can be more inclusive, attract a wider pool of candidates overall, and can help eliminate biases that are written by human-based job descriptions, such as gender or age biases. At the end of the day, you got to consider the AI job descriptions may be too generic or not capture enough of the unique aspects of your role or your company to be really accurate along the way. And they could unintentionally perpetuate existing biases in the hiring process. So be aware of how you utilize AI in writing your job descriptions. Secondly, I want to talk a little bit about candidate sourcing, and this is probably the one where we're most used to using AI tools today. Candidate sourcing tools are software applications that recruiters and hiring managers use to find, identify, and engage with candidates for open source and their organizations. The platforms aggregate data from various sources, including job boards, social media platforms, professional networks like LinkedIn, to create comprehensive candidate profiles. Intelligent algorithms analyze these profiles and provide recruiters with insights and recommendations on the most qualified candidates. Recruiters can search for specific skill sets, experience levels, and qualifications, ensuring that they find the best fit for their company and for those roles. Some applicant tracking systems, recruitment automation, and CRM platforms already include some of these tools. So there's quite, again, another tech landscape that's out there that there's a lot of providers, whether it's HireEZ, Sourcing.io, Beamery, that have already got a lot of this AI technology built in. And it works by leveraging those things around automation and machine learning to help filter out those top candidates that meet the defined criteria that you're looking for. And the benefits are improved quality of hire, improved time to provide the first slate, benefits of automating some of those manual tasks, better job fit, and reduce recruitment costs. But at the end of the day, you've got to consider, how these job descriptions may be too generic, and the way you do your candidate sourcing may not quite work to perpetuate some of those biases in the process. So keep those things in mind when you're evaluating the AI technology you're going to use to help you with candidate sourcing. Next is recruiting chatbots. Recruiting chatbots are automated messaging tools that engage with and help filter candidates through your career site and into the applicant funnel and throughout the process itself. Chatbots can answer commonly asked questions about the application process, benefits, work from home policies, and the next steps in the hiring process. An AI chatbot responds to questions in natural language as if it was a real person. Responses are determined by pre-programmed scripts and machine learning algorithms. When asked a question, the chatbot can answer using the knowledge database that's currently available to it, which is a plus and minus. You have to have the knowledge base in there. But as the bot learns from its interactions with the choosers, it continues to improve overall. And that chatbot identifies the query's language, the context, and the intent, and then can react accordingly. Sentiment analysis also makes bots even more powerful by understanding the emotion in the candidate's messages. So again, there's quite a tech landscape that's out there. Paradox, Olivia, Eightfold, Humanly, all out there pretty far along in their application of chatbots. And again, how it works, that natural language process to understand and engage candidates' questions and intentions behind the scenes. The benefits are improved efficiency, response time, and that 24/7 availability from a candidate's perspective. So if they're applying at midnight or 6 in the morning, there's a chatbot there able to answer those questions and keep that candidate moving along in the process. So they're really becoming indispensable for recruiting teams across the board to keep those interactions in real time with those candidates. But with any AI tools, the bias is also, part of the training concern. What information goes in is the information that comes out as it continues to learn. And the chatbots may lack a little bit of that human touch and empathy to understand candidates' emotions and the tone and intent. They're getting better, but early on and today, you want to be real careful with the intent and the emotion that comes across in recruiting chatbots. And next, I'll talk about AI-assisted interviews. And while companies have long used machine learning and RPA, or robotic process automation, and AI to source candidates and screen applications, companies are now just starting to use these technologies as part of the interviewing process. AI interviewing platforms aim to reduce the time and effort humans devote to the hiring process itself. There are two main types of AI interview platforms. AI assessment platforms analyze video interviews to assess candidates based on verbal and nonverbal clues. AI chatbot interview platforms facilitate the interview process by guiding candidates through a series of questions and tasks. Common features of these platforms include automated question generation, real-time analysis of those candidate responses, and stack ranking. Some platforms even use predictive analytics to continuously improve the hiring success. And again, quite a big tech landscape that's out there today from different companies. HireVue, Modern Hire, which recently emerged, BrightHire, Interview AI, and VidCruiter are also technologies you can use to experiment with. But again, how it works is that these candidate questions are correlated to information provided at early stages, and the structured rating scales help standardize feedback. Automated interview scoring provides ranked scores based on job relevant data and core competencies. And the benefits are huge. Organizations could see improved efficiency and scalability and real-time evaluation tools. These structured interview guides also help the organization be more consistent in their process overall. Automated candidate routing, and then shareable recordings. You can help hiring managers to overcome biases also in the interview by focusing on core competencies. But from a consideration standpoint, AI interviews do raise some ethical questions around the use of personal data, privacy, fairness in the hiring process. So to ensure that you're being, have informed consent from each candidate, that their information is securely stored and protected from unauthorized access and misuse. So a lot of things around privacy on that as well. And then lastly, I want to talk about employee onboarding. When employee onboarding processes are slow and inefficient, it leads to early attrition. Our 2023 job seeker survey revealed that 70% of respondents said that their first day of onboarding experience is either highly likely or likely to affect their decision to stay more than 1 month. So that first day is really critical from an onboarding standpoint. AI-enabled onboarding platforms can create better employee experiences to create retention and reduce time to productivity. Leading platforms help reduce administrative tasks, track employee progress throughout onboarding, integrate with learning management systems for training. So these platforms can listen for predefined business events and then trigger actions across all those applications and databases and teams. AI-enabled onboarding platforms can also provision software, schedule orientation meetings, pair new hires with their buddies, and collect feedback on the onboarding process. So this tech landscape is a little more nascent. I think it's just now really kind of coming into its own, but companies like ADP and Bamboo and Paycom are beginning to include AI into their onboarding programs and processes. And again, the way it works is that these all kind of come together to generate this personalized onboarding journey, provide real-time support through chatbots, analyze the data insights, and improve the overall efficiency and effectiveness of your onboarding to create a great experience for those candidates so they can get to work and get up to 100% productivity as soon as possible. So the benefits are really sending out welcome emails, assigning access to systems and training. All this becomes automated instead of a manual process. That automated feedback loops helps HR determine where employees may need additional support during their onboarding journey. But despite the advantages of AI in onboarding, data privacy must not be overlooked. Many companies hesitate to deploy AI solutions due to concerns about potential misuse or sensitive information, or quite honestly, just fear of the unknown. There's quite a bit of that we see in our research overall, so we are just hesitant to make that leap because they just don't know what's going to happen from a legal standpoint, from a privacy standpoint, and from a data security standpoint. So as we look forward, let's sort of think about how consumers have adopted, this revolutionary technology really for more than 50 years. Consumer popularity has helped fuel widespread organizational use of things like personal computers, the internet, smartphones, and social media. Enterprise adoption of AI has followed a different path because of the massive investments from tech companies, large enterprises, venture capital, and private equity firms. Generative AI's ability to increase efficiencies, reduce costs, and improve innovation and customer experiences profoundly reshapes how companies operate and create value. But individuals' use of AI tools has grown exponentially as well. Some of the largest platforms, including ChatGPT, Google Bard, Claude, and Jasper AI. It's hard to find a cloud-based platform for consumers today that isn't already integrated some of these AI tools in their background and in the processes. So a couple of things as we look forward. Number one is this need for regulation. Our recent gathering of tech visionaries on Capitol Hill signaled a first step in establishing some guardrails for AI governance to curtail the spread of misinformation, safeguard critical infrastructure, protect personal data, and ultimately prevent this semi-apocalyptic scenario where intelligent machines outperform humans and we don't know the need for humans anymore, right? So all of these things are much needed discussions, and it'll eventually lead to policies and regulations that usher in a safer, AI-enabled world. But this is unlikely to slow this unprecedented advance of technology. So I believe that AI is here to stay. Statistica estimates that the global market for AI will expand at a remarkable compound annual growth rate, somewhere over 37% between now and 2030, just 6 or 7 years away. So there's going to be a need for regulation. And then secondly, the use of AI by knowledge workers. Regardless of your organization's posture for integrating AI into your daily operations, it's already happening at a personal level. For example, knowledge workers use personal AI tools to record and summarize meetings and take action items and create first draft of content, first draft of graphics and imagery for marketing, for white papers, for proposals, for presentations and social media. AI tools accelerate software development for coders and help turn the side hustles into full-time gigs for millions worldwide. So it's already being adopted individually, even from an experimentation standpoint, especially by knowledge workers and others. And then lastly, I encourage you to take the plunge. If you're a decision maker or to influence your organization's adoption of AI in either HR or recruiting but have yet to experience the power of AI in your work or personal pursuits, it's time to take the plunge. You'll find that unlike other technologies with a steep learning curve, AI tools are easy to use, inherently intuitive, and responding to instructions and prompts the same way a person would. And there's several things you can go look for. There's a good reference in a Forbes article from February of this year called Beyond ChatGPT, 14 mind-blowing AI tools that everyone should be trying out. And if you're on TikTok, just search artificial intelligence 2023 and prepare to be inundated with everything. Even in our own teams, in my own life, I don't consider myself an early adopter of any technology. I just sadly traded in my iPhone 8 for a 14. I didn't go away to the 15, but just the 14. So I'm not considered an early adopter at all for technology. But with ChatGPT, I've found the different things that I can put in, questions, scenarios, it helps me begin to form some of my responses in a much more quickly and efficient way. I still have to put in my own opinions. I still have to put in my own thoughts. I have to think about what the approach is going to be, but it sometimes helps much better than just a Google search out there on the internet. So last but not least, I just want to say thank you again for your attendance today. I just want to say thank you for our group that has really done a lot of research around this. The information presented today is based on that research, and I've talked about a lot of different companies here, but I don't advocate or recommend any of those. I suggest you do your own homework. We just gave you a list of companies you can kind of start from overall. So thank you again for your time. I'm online now. I can be happy to answer any questions. And I hope today's been helpful and hope it's been a high enough level that you can kind of absorb some of it, but enough content you can decide how you want to follow through. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.